Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on the Hagenstedt map. Let's get back to reliving the glory days. Do a couple of harvests with the different settings and see what yield, what setting yields what amount, and then we can find out for certain one way or the other whether or not this is actually a thing. I'm 90% certain somewhere Patrio Gracemark. I believe he's already run tests on this earlier on. He may, though, have only run tests on this on grass. And came up that it might have been... Yeah, see, it was quite a while ago. I know he did run a test on grass. He definitely ran a test on grass. He announced the results on the Discord, posted it all up, and showed absolutely 100% that grass, even though it's got a lime requirement on it, is not affected. It can have the lime requirement there on the grass field, but if you go and put lime on it, it will not increase the yield coming off of that field in any way, despite the fact that you're going through and adding the lime onto the field. It still won't change anything. It will stay exactly as it was before. There will be no changes at all to anything. So that was for grass. I don't remember if he also did one for standard crops to find out if yield was affected when there was a demand for it and you had the option turned off. So I'm not sure on that one. I'll have to make some inquiries, I think. Maybe. If I remember. I'll probably forget all about it. Right, I'm going to drive back this way, because I'd like to go via the shop. We've got $150,000 burning a hole in our pocket. We could go and immediately spend that money on a brand new combine, which is my plan. Or I could save it and try and get another 50 grand to go with it, and use that to go and buy the big field. The problem I have with going and buying the big field immediately is that if I were to do that, we would then have, it would then take even longer to go and do a harvest. And I don't want to be stuck doing each harvest for really, really long amounts of time. I like running 2 combines on any of my jobs. 2 harvesters, 2 of everything. It seems like a better balance. You get things done much quicker, and it gives you a little bit more to do. Traveling, like going between the different machines that are doing the works in the field and things like that. It just makes life a little bit more comfortable for everyone involved. At least this is what I found. Right, while I drive up the hill, I'm going to have a drink. There's some lights, really. Although, you're not allowed to have spotlights when you drive along a road. Or not in the UK anyway. I'm assuming it's the same in other countries. Putting all your rear lights and that on the tractor while you're driving along on the road is strictly not allowed because it blinds everybody. Those spotlights, the field lights, they're designed for lighting up very large areas, and you don't really want to be lighting everything up like a Christmas tree when you're going along a road because, yeah, people can't see. Right, I'm going to come out of there. I have used the field lights and the spotlights and everything on the road, but that was only because I had a driver that kept flashing his lights at me. He's coming towards me. He kept flashing his lights at me, putting it onto high beam and leaving it on for a while and then putting them down. I had my tractor on low beam, so I put my tractor onto high beam. I suppose I could work and talk. I put my tractors onto high beams and put all the front beacons on as well. On the front of the tractor, so if you have a look here, like, you just have those lights on the road, but I switched on all the lights. I switched on these on the cab, I switched on ones that were on the side here as well, the extra front lights as well, put them all up. I put the whole lot up and lit the front of that tractor up like a Christmas tree at this person who was busy flashing his lights at me, and then he put his lights back down onto low beam and he left them there. And it was a long straight, so we had a lot of time to get towards each other. He wasn't going particularly fast, and I was driving a tractor, which is never particularly fast anyway. Right, so we want a Nova 330. This is the bad boy that we want. I'm not interested in a GPS system for this. I'm not using GPS, I use the AI vehicle extension instead. So I'm going to buy that one for $105,000. I could go right now and buy that corn header there for $45,000. which means that I will not have the money to go and buy my standard header there, which is another 32 grand. I want that one, though. So I'm going to buy that one. I need that one more than I need anything else. So I'm going to buy you there. Now I've got that one. That leaves me with 13,000. And if we go back into the corn headers, I need 19 grand for that one. I need 45,000 for that one. Now this one here, the lease cost for this one is 2,295. As we're only going to be using that for one harvest, and it is quite possible that we do only use it for one harvest, right? We'll hopefully be able to accumulate enough money after this harvest to be able to start building up towards a bigger combine. So it's very likely that we only need that corn header for a single harvest before we need to worry about going back to corn again, and then we could have a different combine. So I don't think it would be out of the way to go and lease it just for that one harvest. I think that would be acceptable. So that's what I'm going to do. I am actually going to do that. The other option, of course, is to buy the corn header for $45,000 and then sell that one as soon as I've done the corn harvest and buy the other header for all of the other harvests, which is what I would have done in the game normally if we didn't have leasing options available. So we'll go with the lease. We will go with the lease. I'd already sort of made my mind up to that. I'm just justifying my decisions to you all. Let's just cover those over like that and unhitch those. This tractor right here, I'm going to go and park it up. Well, I'm not going to park it up. I'm going to bring it over here and I'm going to get it so that the seed drill is getting ready. So we're ready for the morning. I'll put that one onto there. And then, you know, I should have left that front. No, it didn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. I get the seed drill on and we'll make sure this one is ready to roll. So I got 458 litres of soybeans in here. Let's do something. Let's be sensible here a minute and change that over now. Right, I've now got that set on corn so that I don't go and plant the wrong item in the field like I did last time. That was a really stupid mistake, wasn't it? Right, so I now have the correct item in the field. I've got 1,880 litres of fertilizer in this thing, which I think really is a bit too much. I don't think I need that much. Now, I did in the last one, I changed it over so that I stopped draining our cash down and I used some of the seed and stuff that I had on board. What I'm thinking to do here is I'm actually thinking to unload this. I got the front one selected there, so I unload that one right there. And then reload one bag full. There. And I'll leave that other bag, and I'll put that into the fertilizer spinner. So close that one down there like that. And if we go into the options in here, which is that one, I switched off fertilizer. Seed, I've still got seed on... Oh, wait. Alright, I tell you what, we'll load that back in. The fertilizer, it should use off this one, but the seed, it should still buy. So... basically, we've got a little bit of seed that we can go and use to just manually run along the ends of the fields just to make sure that it's all right and ready to go. And then... oh, I'm closing that one down. Make sure it's all ready to go. And then as soon as I press H, the hired help will carry on and do its thing. And it will automatically buy the seed instead of using it up out of my tank, which means that I don't have to worry about refilling it. But the fertilizer, it will continue to use that up, at least at the moment, which is not a bad thing because we've got lots of fertilizer in there and I don't really want to be stuck with too much extra. They're nearly finished, so we'll be able to let them finish this evening. What I am going to do is I'm just going to leave those two working. I'm not going to worry about you for a second. I'm going to come up here to this one and I'm going to drive it back down to the shed down the bottom and get it put away. And then as soon as we've done that, we will go over to the house. We'll fast forward time a little bit and then we can skip the night. One job I wanted to do before I... oh, wait, no. I was thinking to do some fertilizer spreading before I start planting. Now, I can't remember if it plants and then spreads fertilizer, or if it spreads fertilizer and then plants. It's one way or the other with this game. I think it leaves it afterwards. If I spread fertilizer on the field first, it will go over and do it afterwards. But at the same time, I'm thinking maybe we don't worry about that and we'll just wait for the first growth stage after I've gone and done the planting. And then once the first growth stage has gone through, then we can just simply let it, like, we'll put the hired help running and doing everything it needs to do with the fertilizer in the fertilizer spinner that we've got there. So I don't think we need to worry about that too much. Right, this header right here needs to be brought over, and it needs to be unhitched right there. Let's bring you back like that and lower you down and do that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset this one to the shop, because when you reset, like, when you tab through your vehicles... Oh, wait. Yeah, when you tab through your vehicles... I think when you reset, it also resets the order that you reach it when you're tabbing through. I think it does. We can test that now. We can find out. So if I reset that combine there to the shop... Yes. Like that. And then come out of it. Yes, that's what it does. It resets the tab order as well. So by resetting that combine to the shop, I've now got the two combines next to each other when I'm tabbing through my vehicles, which is how I like to have it. So I got that one right there, and then it goes straight to this tractor. Yeah, and then I got these two. I'll probably be using that one for doing the harvest. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. Right. So, this is the new combine right here, and then we got the other one as well. I need to drive this one back to the yard like this, and then the other one, I will lease the corn header, and I will get that one on as well. Out of the way, lady! Sorry, coming through. I'll lease the corn header, and then I can use that other combine to drive that one back as well. It just, things a little bit quicker, save us having to drive the combine all the way down to the shop. It's a lot easier if we get the shop to come and get the combine. We don't mind driving it back. We don't mind everybody looking at our shiny new machine as we drive it back from the shop. There's no problems with that. It's just driving it from the farm to the shop. It's such a tedious business. It really is. It's such a tedious business. We don't want to be burdened with these things all the time. I think that's fair enough, isn't it? Not wanting to be burdened with such things. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Right. You can go in here, and we can line another one of these up down here. Put that one up against that wall there. We've got to unhitch you because we're not going to be using this header for this next harvest. So let's move you in there a little bit. There we go. Right, we've got a whole line of them there. And you can stop there like that. You are ready to roll. These are just about finished. You know what, I'm going to stop you, and I'll let that other tractor go and finish that off. And I'll fold you up like this as we go along, and we're going to start driving you back. But I'm not going to drive you back just yet. I'm going to park you over here, and I'm going to stop you there. And then I'm going to jump over to this one, and we're going to just start fast-forwarding time a little bit like that, so that it goes. I think we've got to wait until 6 o'clock before we're allowed. Yeah, see, it says you're not tired. We've got to wait till 6 o'clock before we're allowed to get some sleep. I need some shut-eye, man. Tired. Come on, dude. Let me sleep. You can let me sleep now? Seriously? Slave drivers round here, they won't let you sleep. They don't like the idea of you getting a bit of shut-eye. We're probably going to have to wait, well, maybe it's either 6 or 7 then. Well, I don't know. This seems like slave driving to me. There's a lot of work here. There's a lot of pressure. Still not tired. Alright, 7 o'clock. Can I get some sleep now? Please, I'm begging you, let me go to bed. Thank you. Right. Let's go with the full 14 hours of sleep. That's going to take us through until 9 a.m. Just not a bad time to wake up, I think. It's civilized, that is. There we go, 9 a.m. A nice civilized time to wake up. Look at that. And we will... Right, let's go back over here and have a look. You got one pass left over there. There's Tatey-Pos in that field that... I don't think they're ready to harvest yet, are they? Let's have a look. Growth. Oh, yeah, they are. Right, they're ready to take the tops off if we wanted to go and do that. I don't want to go and do that. We've got lime, needs plowing. This is going to be the test. Now, this is what we're looking to test. Is we're going to plant corn in here and then we're going to harvest it. We have got crop destructuring, periodic ploughing required. Whether or not you need to plough your fields periodically to keep yield high. I've got that turned off at the moment. After I have done the corn, will we still have a requirement to plough the entire field or not? This is the big question. We've been waiting for this to get here. We've been waiting for this particular little bit to get here so that we can answer this all-important question. We will be able to answer this question once and for all, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm very pleased. Alright, it's one of the great mysteries of Farming Simulator. And I'm going to answer this one. Absolutely answer it once and for all. Right, let's raise you up because I don't want you over there. And let's, no. Lower you down there. Help I has completed their task. That's the one up the top. I'm going to manually drive along the edge down here. And then I'm going to switch it over to the standard hired help. You can see here this particular seed drill. The tractor does struggle with it a little bit. We do struggle to just keep it in straight lines. It's like there's a little bit of pressure for this one. Slightly too big a machine for the tractor we're using it on. It's not by much at all, but there is just a little bit. Now, I also want to make sure I get this lined up absolutely perfectly with the edge of the field so that we, hopefully, will plant everything when we get down to the other end, because it's slightly uneven on the field down there. So we're running up through here. The AI... It's not the AI vehicle extension, it's the standard hired help here. It's the standard AI. That will keep it straight, despite the fact that the seed drill is making it want to drift slightly from side to side. It's using the fertilizer out of the tank on there, but it's not using up the seed. So we're buying seed as we travel down across the field, and you can see the money ticking down fairly fast there now. But we're not doing anything else. We're just running standard. I'm thinking that I ought to go and lease the corn header now before we run low on money. Because there is always the possibility that we could run out of money ever so slightly and then not have enough to go and lease that corn header later. And I don't want to be falling into that trap. I don't want to be in a situation where I cannot afford to bring that one in. And because we took the time to line it all up, we have properly sown the edge of the field down over there. So I'm going to let that one come up to there like that. Hired help is switched off. And then I'm going to go and manually just drive along this top end of the field over here. There. Lower you down and start you up. And we will drag this bad boy right along the top here. This is what I do for most of the fields. Just the standard hired help. But I will outline the field. Sometimes I will outline it twice. And just kind of follow it along as it outlines twice on the field. And then leave it to it. Sometimes I will just do like the ends of the field. It depends how much room I've got for turning around. We've got enough room to turn round on this one, so we don't need to worry about it too much. I can just get it mostly lined up and then leave it to it. So that one there, you can line them up there on this side now, and I can leave it go. I don't need to worry about it. That one will carry on. He's got some fertilizer on board. When the fertilizer gets down to about 25% in the tank, we will switch off the... we'll switch on the hired help buying it as it travels across the field, but I don't need that setting on at the moment. So you're going to go planting corn. You're ready to put away. You over here, you're ready to put away as well. So let's fold that one up there and drive it up round this way. This tractor is the 150 horsepower tractor. The other smaller one is the... It's about 100 horsepower. It's 105, I think. the Semi-Argon. But I think the Semi-Argon might be better suited to doing the fertilizer spreading in the field. And they're both, the tractors do both run fast enough, but I still think that the Argon might be slightly better suited of the two small tractors for doing fertilizer spreading, just because of the front weight on it. This one doesn't have a front weight on it, and the weight of that fertilizer that we've got, and our bigger fertilizer spreader now, could end up being a little bit too much for this poor little tractor right here. I think he might struggle with it. Be sitting up and begging if he's got all that weight on the back. Whereas that one over there, with the big front weight that it's got to sort of ballast it out a bit, he'd probably cope with it a little bit better. Not sure. Anyway, I don't think it's going to need to do that, because I believe that the game puts the fertilizer down afterwards. So we're fertilizing and seeding at the same time, which means that we're not gonna be able to spread fertilizer on that field. No, we're not. If you look there, you can see the light brown in the distance. That's what it would look like if it didn't have fertilizer on it. But if you look over here, it's a dark brown color, and that's because there is fertilizer being left behind. So we can't do anything at the moment. We've got to wait for the first growth stage before we can do anything with that, which is alright. We can leave that. There's not going to be, well, say there's not. Gonna have a look, because I think it was a couple of... We did do like a couple of harvests before we repaired these last time, but they had quite a big repair jump on them. So I'll repair the tractor anyway. Oh. Repair you again. Right, so these cultivators, they wear out pretty quickly. They don't... Like, there's not a lot of sort of margin for error. Although that one there actually did all of this field down here and then half the field up the top. The other cultivator only did a little bit of the field at the top this time round, didn't it? So it didn't do anywhere near as much as what this cultivator here did, which is probably why this one had so much. You first need to unfold. You know what? That one can just stay hitched on, because that's the next job that tractor's going to be doing. And then we can ignore for a minute. We want to go to this one down here. 105 horsepower now. So this one here, I could actually do topping this one up with a bit of fuel. We'll put a little bit of go-go juice in this one, and then once I've done that, we'll also see the cultivator, but this one only did half of the top field. Right, it didn't do anywhere near as much as what the one did on the back of the Fiat. So it's not going to need... The repair rate on this one is going to be marginal, but getting a bit of fuel into the tractor would be a good idea while we remember. And then when we've done this, we can jump down to the shop, and we can go and get the combine. We can lease the new header just to make sure that we've definitely got the new header when we come back up here. So yeah, there's hardly anything needs doing on the tractor, and hardly anything needs doing on the cultivator either. Right? They were absolutely minimal. Yeah, I'll go and lease the new corn header so that I've definitely got that one available to use when I come up here. And yes, I know I did already say previously that I didn't want to do any leasing. I wasn't planning on it. However, something my dad has always said, which I've always found somewhat annoying, because he'll say one thing and then he would say something else completely, and then he would go, well, I changed my mind. That's the advantage that the living have over the dead, is that they get to change their mind. Yeah, all right, thanks, Dad. That's just brilliant. That's wonderful. But you gave me one set of instructions, and then the set of instructions changed halfway through what I was doing, and me being, you know, the way my mind works is once I've got something set out and planned in my mind, I do struggle somewhat with then immediately changing it. I am able to adapt, and I'm not that sort of against change. It's just that once I've got something sort of figured out, it's really frustrating having it all changed halfway through what I'm doing. If that change hasn't been brought about by circumstances of the job dictating it. If it's just based on the whim of someone else who's suddenly decided, you know what, I fancy it like this instead. That frustrates me. That really frustrates me. And so then, well, what have you got to change your mind for? We had it like that, but that's the advantage that the living have over the dead. Uh-huh. Yeah. The advantage the living have over the dead. That's great. We have another advantage as well, Dad. We get to choose which home you end up in. Just keep that in mind. I've said that to him many times. He sniggers and says, well, you wouldn't have anything to do with it anyway. That would be your sisters. Which is true, because they've already stated that they would do that. So anyway, never mind any of that. Just giving you a little window into daily life with me and some other people at times. Not daily life. Occasional life would be more likely. So, yeah. I changed my mind on the whole leasing thing. I've gone and done it. I've changed my mind. I said that I wasn't going to lease, and now I've gone and leased. So we've leased this one, but we'll return it after this harvest. And I'm still sticking to my guns mostly on the whole leasing thing. I don't want to do very much leasing. I'm going to avoid doing that mostly all the way through the series. I was toying with the idea of doing a root crop harvest this time round, but I've decided against doing that because we cannot afford to buy the machinery, and leasing harvest and planting machinery for potatoes or sugar beet generally, where am I going? Generally isn't worth it. It's a lot of money to go on. I'm not going to repair this combine because I'm hoping that I will remember to go and... You know what? I'm not going to remember at all, am I? So I'll bring the combine over here and I'll repair it now because the repair rate is way down. And then I'm going to get the header on the other combine and I'm going to repair that one as well. So I'm going to bring you there, repair you for $350. That one is brand new, so we're not going to need to worry about that one. But the header, not the one that combine is parked in front of at the moment, the other header, that one's going to need some repair work, and possibly the sunflower header hasn't been repaired either. So while our tractor and planter is running around, let me go to this one. So it's not that header there. It's the next one to it. Let's go and get that one. This is very likely going to need repairing. It'd be a good idea if I do that repair work before our next harvest, otherwise I will forget all about it. And the sunflower header, I don't think I repaired that one either, so we can also go and take a look at that one. So let's just jump over to you right here, and we'll hop out and run round over here like this. So that one's fine. There we go, look at that. See, repair that one for $83, and jump out of there, and then back round, and we'll take a look at that sunflower header and see what condition that one is in. Because I reckon that we're going to need to do the same there, and then I will hitch on the corn header that I've got there. So let's bring you in. Carefully does it. There, like that. And there, we've got our line of headers down through here. Look at that. That's actually looking pretty good there, all of those headers down through there. I like that. Get that sunflower one a second, and we'll just see what sort of condition it's in. Get that one repaired, and then we can put that one back. See, if we get to another sunflower harvest before we change combines, we don't need to buy another sunflower header. And we probably won't. We'll use the one sunflower header on one of the combines. The other one we'll just use the standard corn header, because we can do that with the sunflowers, right? That's all we need to do, is we just use this helianthus header on one and the corn header on the other, and everything will be tickety-boo. Right, there we go, a little bit of repair work to do on that one, and then this can also go back into the shed. So I'll spin it round, and then I get that corn header hooked onto it, and all we got to do then is wait for the planting to finish, do a little bit of fertilizer spreading, not much. I think we've relived enough glory days just for a moment. We're going to take a breather, we're going to have a little bite to eat, and then we can get back to it nice and refreshed and relive a few more glory days. There should be some names coming up right now that you can have a look at. It's names of people who are in the Great Book of Names, people who have supported this channel, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.